Good morning everybody, welcome to the office. I haven't been here for about 2 weeks because I've just been kind of running around the place. I've been working a lot away, I've been on the road quite a bit, and I was expecting to come back here and see like the place flooded or on fire or something, and actually it's held up okay in my absence. So today's video is actually not today's video, it's kind of like a culmination of a couple of weeks of thinking and stuff. I'll explain in a second. But if you've been watching me for a while, you'll know my first video of this year. I mentioned my New Year's resolutions, one of which was to be a better human being to the planet. In fact, I'll put a clip in from my first video this year. 3 resolutions this year. The first one is to be a better human. So I want to just kind of be better by the planet. I want to reduce my carbon footprint, so I'm going to get solar panels on my roof. I'm going to try and look into driving an electric car. I want to give more to charity. So far, Project Be a Better Person is working really well, I have to say. I'm putting loads of effort into it. I couldn't get solar panels on my roof because my roof wouldn't allow the space, but what I did instead was change my energy supplier to one that now supplies green, renewable energy to my house. So that's kind of, you know, in fact, not even the next best thing, probably a better thing, because if I had solar panels, I would never have enough juice from the sun alone to charge my entire house, whereas now all the energy is green. I'm driving electric. I am giving more to charity as well. One thing I didn't know about actually until after making that video was the extent of the damage that single-use plastics are doing to the world. And in fact, that's where BRITA got in touch with me for today's video for their Swap for Good campaign, which is basically all about reducing your consumption of single-use plastics and swapping out for things like the BRITA jug or their kind of travel bottles. And do you know what? One of the things they sort of suggest I do was to collect my single-use plastic for a week in a bag and just sort of see how much I use. So allow me to introduce you to a week's worth of rubbish. So here we have my bag full of single-use plastic rubbish. Do you know what? For me, it's when I forget, if I'm not really thinking about it. For example, I ordered a takeaway and it all came in, you can sort of see it there, and also I can smell it from here because it's a week old now. But you can see like there's quite a few single-use plastic containers there. I didn't need that takeaway, I could have cooked. I was just having, you know, a tough day and I didn't want to. And I didn't think, you know, things like that. Also, full disclosure, I had been to Shanghai at the beginning of this week and I couldn't drink the tap water, so I had to have some bottles. So you can probably add sort of 4 or 5 bottles to this. However, for a week, that's not as bad as I was expecting, I have to say. My mind's really on it though, so I am really trying. That said though, you know, ideally we want this to be as close to zero as possible. So this week I'm going to try to live my life as single-use plastic free as possible. So I think the first thing I have to do is fill up my fridge. Now the camera's rolling, I'm actually going to remember one of these bags. The thing I'm most guilty of, I think, is forgetting. Look, that's why we have so many of these bags. You know, when you go to the supermarket and you get these bags for life. I always forget them, and then I always end up buying one thinking I'll remember it next time, and now I've got a whole cupboard full. But because I'm filming, I'm really conscious of it, so I'm going to take a few of these. And then let's go shopping. I want one onion, I think. Well, actually, it's perfectly ripe, this one. That's a first, isn't it? This avocado is actually ripe. Tomatoes are a challenge, because they're all in plastic, or you use one of these things. So I'm just going to pick tomatoes up and put them in my basket. Like that? Is that okay? Is that allowed? There's so many rules. I don't know. That's what I'm doing. So here's the thing I'm discovering, like a lot of food comes in its own packaging. You don't need that to come in plastic. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, however, they use kind of plasticky things there. Why? I could just get 4 limes without the need of adding extra packaging. I actually saw, and I'm not going to name any names of the shop I saw this in, but I saw someone had peeled like a satsuma or a tangerine, peeled it, then put it in a plastic cup for people to buy. I'm like, it comes in its own container already. You don't need to peel it and then put it in plastic. It's bonkers, basically. I'm buying a whole pot of coriander. The reason that, although it does come in single-use plastic, I can regrow some of this, right? I think, if I put my green fingers on, rather than just buying a pack of it like that and then it running out and not using it all. This makes more sense, surely. Wholemeal wraps, they'll do. I mean, I just don't know how you could have things like wraps not in single-use plastic. There's got to be a way around it, but it's not on offer here. Back from the supermarket now, and I've kind of filled up, it's a decent sized shop actually, and the only single-use plastic I ended up with was the thing in the coriander, my wraps, and then this for the prawns. Everything else was actually okay. It's not an easy thing to do, I have to be honest, and I think supermarkets need to make a change there. But I tend to eat kind of ingredients, so for example I have a lot of fresh fruit and veg and stuff, and you don't need to put that in plastic, so it's not that difficult, it's doable. I am now making prawn fajitas. So I've made guacamole, which is literally just avocado, tomatoes, coriander and lime, bit of salt, mushed up together. And now I'm going to do pepper, onions, some paprika seasoning and prawns, and then stick it all in a wrap with some guac and eat it. Easy. Back in the office. Oh, by the way, there used to be a rug in the office, but as you can see from the floor, there is just fluff everywhere, and this is post me trying to clear up the fluff. It just kind of goes everywhere, and it's all because of this rug here. And I've just had to kind of wrap it up and leave it here for now because it just leaks fluff everywhere and it's really annoying. So the office does seem a little bit bare now, minus the rug. I'll have to get a different rug here somehow. Anyway, I'm back. I ate so much food, so I'm really kind of raring to go now. I have to go to the dentist soon. I haven't been to the dentist for about 2 years, and I got a reminder saying you're really overdue, so I'm going to go. Good morning. So hopefully you'll be pleased to know that you have seen the entire quantity of yesterday's waste that was single-use plastics. I got home last night, I made some dinner, but there was no extra waste to be accounted for, so that's really good news. Now, I've mentioned before, this is where I do most of my work in this office, I spend a lot of time here, and I've mentioned a few times in videos that the water from the tap behind me isn't very good. It always comes out lukewarm and it doesn't taste brilliant. So often on my walk to work I would buy a bottle of water and bring it with me, which is obviously a terrible thing to do now I realise it. So in the interest of swapping for good, I have here the BRITA style jug that has been in the fridge to make it nice and chill. And because it's filtered, it actually also kind of improves the purity and makes it taste better. I haven't actually mentioned, I don't think in this video yet, the purpose of reducing your single-use plastic waste. Basically, we're destroying the planet. I don't want to get really preachy about it. I don't want to make you feel guilty. I just want you to, want to demonstrate the change we can make and how easy it can be. Basically, because of like currents and tides and stuff, it ends up collecting in one area, somewhere between Australia and America, and it's called the Great Pacific Garbage Patch. And it is literally 3 times the size of France. It's the size of a continent, just of the waste that we've been collecting for years and years and years. I think it was discovered in like the 70s or 80s or something, and people have been keeping an eye on it, but it hasn't really kind of hit mainstream press until I heard about it at the beginning of this year. What happens is a lot of that plastic sort of like degrades in some way and turns into essentially like a soup, so all the fish floating in it die and all the organisms, like the water covers 70% of the world's surface, and everything alive needs it. I can't think of one organism that doesn't require water, and whole ecosystems start crumbling when things perish because of it. So it's really, really imperative. Like one of the biggest crises that we are facing in the world today. It's so important to reduce the amount of waste we are throwing into the oceans and also on land and everywhere. There isn't an excuse anymore. We have other options, so that's where things like this come in, where I would otherwise buy a bottle of water. I've now got this for life, and I'm going to keep refilling it for a very long time, and drinking water in a much more sensible manner. I just sort of think I was unaware of it before, and when you do become aware of it, it's actually not that hard to make a change. So, cheers. Hello, adorable dog. Alright, you miss me today? Apparently not. Oi! Come back here! Here she comes. Oh, bring the toy! I was going to play. You want to play with the rabbit? How about this? Oh, okay. Okay, ready? Go on. Off you go. So, I'm back home now. You really didn't miss much today. I've been sat at my desk all day. I then did a bunch of emails and a bit of writing, and that has brought me until now, which is 6:30 in the evening. I'm going to have a quick snack, and then I'm going to go to the gym. I went to the gym this morning, had a good workout, but I'm getting real results at the minute, so where possible, I'm going to try and get 2 in a day, just because I'm kind of really motivated by it. Good morning, and actually good news, everybody. Oh God, my personal trainer texted me this morning, cancelling my session at 7:30, which is a really good thing, because after working out twice yesterday, I've woken up today and my legs are absolutely killing me. Like going downstairs was a nightmare. When you get me, look, my dog just jumps on every time. I actually had an extra hour and a half in bed because my session was cancelled. What I'm going to do now is a bit of physio. So if you don't know this about me, I've got a bad knee. So I've been doing some physio and I haven't done it now for a couple of weeks because I've been working out a lot. And I don't know why. It takes a lot of time actually. The physio takes probably like half an hour. Marv, doing your breakfast. Breakfast, come on. Oh, here it is. It looks delicious, doesn't it? Leave it. Okay, go on then. Good girl. So Marth's having her breakfast. Time for me to do my physio. I've got a bottle of water with me because, you know, thirsty work, that physio stuff. Now this bottle's really cool actually because in the blue bit of the lid here, you have like a disc filter. So as you kind of squeeze the bottle or suck through the mouthpiece and the water goes through, it goes through the filter. So that's cool. I'm now going to go and do my little tiny movements to fix my knee. Turned into a really wonderful day today, everyone. In fact, this morning I looked at the weather and it was like 14 degrees or something, and I thought, oh, you know what, autumn's coming, I'm going to put another layer on. I'm very happy I went kind of pastel-y today. Anyway, it's lunchtime now. The time is actually 1:10, and I haven't eaten a thing yet, and I'm absolutely ravenous. I had a really good meeting, and I drove in right across to East London. So I had to kind of leave fairly early because it took forever. And now I've got lunchtime, and I'm starving, and I'm back in central London. I'm thinking I might just go to Pret, because I like Pret. And also Pret are pretty good in terms of their packaging, like a lot of it's sort of papery. And because I've got my bottle with me, I don't need to buy a bottle of water. So I really fancy like a toasty. They do quite a good tuna melt. They also do quite a good ham and cheese melt with mustard. Oh, I'm talking myself into it, I'm getting pressed. Decisions. We've got ham and cheese and mustard, which is good. We've got the tuna one, which is good. And also, I forgot about this, the brie and avocado one's good too. I just don't know what I want. It turns out I lied about all the plastic in Pret. There was much more than I remembered. I did get a toasty, cheese and ham, which was all in paper, but then I got one of these pots, plastic, and obviously the lid of my coffee's plastic too. So that goes in my collection. Annoyingly. I'm back home now having an early dinner. It's 6, it's not super early, it's 6 p.m, but early-ish for me. Because I'm going out this evening. I've got an event to go to. It's my friend's birthday, and he also works at YSL and he organises parties. So there's a beauty party to go to tonight, and I'm going to see my mate. So my dinner consists of guacamole again. I had that yesterday, but I love avocado. Here I have some chicken. I've got pulled chicken in here, so basically I boiled it first in stock, then I've kind of pulled it apart and now I've added some passata, a little bit of chipotle sauce, and some oregano, and here I have sweet potato that is now kind of cooling down, and that's dinner for me. The only bit of single-use plastic that I had from this dinner was the chicken. The chicken came in plastic, and also I took the wrapping off the coriander, which is actually looking a bit sorry for itself now. I've watered it. I wonder if you can actually plant these. When I get my garden back, I might actually plant coriander because it's my herb, my favourite herb, and I go to it often. So that's the thing. I haven't got very green fingers, so I don't understand how plants work. But good morning. So it's Friday, and I have a confession to make. Yesterday, I went to that event in the evening. And because I had my dinner quite early yesterday, I was a bit peckish on the way home, and I was driving, so I pulled up in the car and I may have had a little snackcident. A snackcident is a word which means an accident revolving around a snack. And I may have bought a tub of ice cream, and because I wasn't thinking about the whole single-use plastic thing, I was just a bit peckish. The guy who served me the ice cream gave me the ice cream in a plastic bag, so that has to be added to my list of single-use plastic, which is annoying because if I just thought about it, it's a one tub, I could have just carried a tub, I didn't need to put it in a bag. If I just sort of said, oh no, I didn't need a bag, it would have been fine, but I was a bit tired, a bit snacky, just wasn't thinking, and that's just kind of, it's the norm, isn't it, to put things in bags, you don't really think about it, so if I'd thought ahead, I would have had less single-use plastic in my my collection for this week. I'm a bit irritated at myself actually. Everybody, the moment of truth. This is the quantity of single-use plastic waste from this week, and it is much less than the previous week, even though last week, and in fact every week since the beginning of this year, I have been more conscious about using less and less single-use plastic. But I think there's something about kind of dragging it along with you and making sure you keep hold of it so you can sort of measure, that makes you hyper-aware. I'm going to put a link in the description box to the BRITA page so you can find out more about kind of living a more sustainable life, and you can buy the products as well, like the style jug and the sports bottle here, and other things too. And also find out more about just kind of reducing your single-use plastic and swapping for good. So, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and also I hope it's kind of been a bit eye-opening. I know for me it certainly has. And I will see you very soon. Goodbye.